We're glad to be sharing the ministry of Redemption Church with you. Now join us as we receive the Word of God.
Hello there, it's me, Chris Fluitt from Redemption Church, and we're in the second week of our Revelation Revealed series, and we are answering some of your questions. If you have questions about the book of Revelation, please text our anonymous line. It's at 214-856-0550. We'd love to answer your questions or talk to you, maybe make a video or whatever. We are really excited about studying the book of Revelation. We're learning a lot, and here's some of your questions. Number one, what are the seals? We're reading, we just read chapter 6 through chapter 11. In chapter 6, these seals show up. So what are they? They aren't the animal. So I can boldly make that declaration. The seals aren't animals. The seals are attached to scroll, to the scroll. It's the scroll that Jesus Christ opens up. Only he was able to take the book. Only he was able to open the seals. So what are the seals? Well, in that kingdom time, kings would send letters, and they would put their seal on it, and they would basically take wax, and they would put their insignia and press it down into the wax, and it would close the letter, and also it would be a form of protection, because unless that seal was broken, if that seal had been broken, you would know someone else had read that letter that didn't have permission to read that letter. And so the scroll, Jesus takes it, and it's a double-sided scroll, and it has 7 seals on it. And one by one, he breaks the 7 seals. We've just talked about the mysterion. You talk about secretive stuff. These seals were only to be broken by Jesus Christ. All right. And so those are the 7 seals, and they hold some judgment, and they hold some things that are to come. Not really so much judgment. Those really come later with the trumpets. I'll take that back. So those are the 7 seals. Question 2, can you interpret the 4 horsemen? First off, you need to know this. There are 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and 7 bowls. The 7th seal opens up the door for the first trumpet. And then the 7th trumpet opens up the door for the first bowl. So they're totally linked. Seals, trumpets, and bowls. The first 4 seals reveal 4 horsemen. With the first seal, we are introduced to the white horseman. A horseman dressed in white, and he is set on conquest. So who is this? Well, the fact that he's white, it would be real easy to make the assumption that it's Jesus, right? Because Jesus, later, he's going to come on a white horse, right? But it's not Jesus. This, we believe, is the Antichrist. White can mean holiness, but it can also mean deception. And that's pretty interesting, because anything less than holiness really is deception. And so this guy comes, and he is going to set forth on conquest. And so this is the Antichrist. And number 2, the second horseman is red and fiery and has a large sword. And this one is typified by war. So the Antichrist is going to come, and then war is going to come. Then a black horse appears. And that represents famine. There's that weird line about barley and wheat and wine, and that's a weird sentence. But it's about famine. So Antichrist, war, famine. And then finally, with the 4th seal, appears the final horseman. And it is a pale horse, and he is death, and Hades follows behind him. The pale rider represents death. He has a sword in hand, and he has power to kill 1/4 of the earth, 25% of the earth. Pale rider's a bad dude. Those are the 4 riders: Antichrist, war, famine, and death. Question number 3, will only 144,000 be saved? This is referenced in Revelations 7. It says that there's 144,000 from the tribe of Israel. So let's start there. This is about Israel, specifically about Israel. It goes through each of the 12 tribes. It names each of the 12 tribes, and each tribe, 12,000 are sealed from each tribe. So you've got Judah, and 12,000 are sealed. You've got Gad, and 12,000 are sealed, on and on. Now, there are many people that believe that this is an exact number, and it very well may be. However, let me just offer you this. This is my view of the Lord. I don't think he's going to close the door on the 144,001st person that wants to know him and come to him. I don't think he's going to ever close the door. I don't think he's ever going to say, oh, I'm so sorry. If you would have just come one person sooner, I only have 144,000 spots. The Lord's kingdom has no end. His government has no end. There's no way. I really don't believe that it's limited to that exact number of people. We have a Lord that says, whosoever will, come. That being said, this is kind of my interpretation on it, and it very well may be wrong. No big deal on that, at least for me. You've got Abraham, and Abraham was promised a great lineage. A seed, children more than the stars of the heaven and the sand of the seashore. And Israel has 12 tribes, the children of Abraham, 12 tribes. And the Lord promised to keep Israel's lineage. And so you have 12 tribes. And right here in Revelation 7, it says, rest assured, Abraham, rest assured, Isaac, rest assured, Jacob, your lineage is taken care of. I have not lost one of the 12 tribes. They are all present. Not only are the 12 tribes present, but I have preserved them to the 12,000th generation. I believe that it is a promise that God has kept Israel. God has kept them this whole way, and in the midst of tribulation, he is going to protect them and keep them. So I just believe that it's a show of God's absolute faithfulness and mercy and grace towards his people, and he always keeps his promise. That was question 3. Question 4, what is the tribulation? What is the tribulation, and then when does it start?